Dishonesty is the second best policy is a phrase coined by the late American comedian George Carlin. So I didn't come up with it. Although, in complete honesty again, I really believe I thought of it independently. I don't think I'd ever heard of it before I thought of it. The sensation when it came into my head was of invention, not remembrance, and unless you're an advertising creative, it's not easy to confuse the two. But there's no denying that George Carlin thought of it before I did, and indeed died before I thought of it, and thought of it before he died, and also before I died. At time of writing, I have not yet died. George Carlin is ahead of me on so many fronts. As a comedian myself, I should probably have been more aware of George Carlin. The fact that I was in a position to think I'd invented one of his famous quotations is a damning indictment of my ignorance, or rather of my knowledge. It's a triumph for my ignorance, a big public victory all over the cover of a book. Take that, my knowledge! I am now imagining my knowledge and my ignorance as two forces within me battling for each other's eclipse, one striving to make me omniscient, the other seeking the complete evacuation of my brain. A bit like a hoarder versus someone who favours the minimalist school of interior design. Oh dear, now I've implied that the acquisition of knowledge is the cerebral equivalent of living in a weird and stinking house, stacked to the ceiling with newspapers and labelled jars of wee. That's not at all the sort of message I should be sending out to the kids. And the truth is that I'd much prefer to live in an obsessive, smelly paper labyrinth than a trendy, echoing home containing widely spaced out, uncomfortable chairs and a solitary orchid. So having, as it seemed to me, invented the phrase, dishonesty is the second best policy, it felt like an apposite reflection on an era frequently referred to as post-truth. I thought it might make a good title for this collection of columns, written for The Observer between 2014 and 2019. And then I thought, that feels like the sort of phrase someone might have come up with already. And so I Googled it to check, and that's when George Carlin burst posthumously into my life. Incidentally, William the Conqueror also burst posthumously. At his funeral, so they say. Some claim he actually exploded. I don't know how ignorance missed all that. The brain hoover must be losing its suck. Obviously, people have always lied, so we shouldn't get too excited about our own society, as if it's done something which, while admittedly bad, is devilishly inventive, like feeding Christians to lions or devising whiskey. Lying is as old as the hills, older than ones made of landfill, which I suppose are lying about being hills. Personally, I lie quite often, mainly about whether I am free to attend social events. It's all because the phrase, "I can come but I don't want to," seems not to be permitted. There's no way of dressing that sentiment up so that it's socially acceptable. I'll have a go, though. It's so kind of you to invite me, and I am sincerely grateful for the thought, but on that day, I know I will be tired and would prefer to stay at home, and I very much doubt that you'd really want me to come if I really don't want to myself. So if it's okay, I won't. You see? Won't do. At best, you'd get some sort of diagnosis, and you'd hurt the inviter's feelings, and the inviter would think less of you. That's the real kicker. So there's nothing for it, but thanks so much, I'd love to come, but sadly I've got to insert lie here. It's the only way of availing yourself of your liberty not to attend without breaking social convention. If you believe in freedom and you don't want people to think you're a dick, and the vast majority of us fall into this category, you've got to lie, and lie well. It's a bit crazy, really. As a consequence, we live in a world in which ostensibly everyone wants to go to everything they're invited to. They always want to, but sometimes they just can't. The notion of people not wanting to go to parties that they're actually free to attend is not openly acknowledged by our society. It's like prostitution in the Victorian age. It's happening everywhere, but everyone pretends it isn't. In the case of the Party Invitation Response Convention, that means there is no language for effectively expressing sincere gratitude for an invitation to an event that you genuinely would like to go to, but genuinely can't. All the phrases you might use for expressing that have been stolen by lying excuse-makers like me. Some societies in this kind of fix would develop a helpful etiquette. "I'm so sorry but I can't make it" would mean "I don't want to come but you're not allowed to hate me," while "I'm so sorry but I really can't make it" would express genuine gratitude and regret. But that's not how we roll these days. The really would be instantly co-opted by the insincere brigade to make their lies more believable and reduce their reputational jeopardy, just as every politically correct term for mental illness ever devised, from cretin onwards, has been co-opted as a term of abuse.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.